So, we are now recording. So, kindly comment your for attendance name and ID number. I'll be sharing the presentation. I'll be checking your attendance after na lang sa discussion para hindi maputol akong connection. So, can you see my PowerPoint? Hello?
Yes, sir, makita.
Okay, see. So, kindly voice out if dili maklaro. So, number one, today we will be discussing on live Q&A lang on inflation. No? So, basically we have two topics at hand. So, number one is inflation and number two is dollars, actual and constant dollars. So, any question with regards to inflation? So, number one, inflation is a loss in purchasing power of money over time. And the other way around it is the same dollar amount buys less than of an item over time. Meanwhile, for deflation, that is basically the opposite of what we call as inflation. So prices decrease over time and hence a specified dollar amount gains additional purchasing power. Next, what is when we call about average inflation rate? So, for the benefit of everybody, amo ingon ganitag average inflation rate, we are looking into murag we have a common inflation rate or interest rate nga consider for the last number of years, no. So kung maingon tag for this type of problem, you have an inflation rate of 4% on the first year and 8% on the second year. So what is on average based on the price, no? So when we say about average inflation rate, that is gi-compute pila na iyahang future value. Wait ha. What? Maklaro ra kung PowerPoint?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think dili ko kasulat. Tara. So, kato ganiha, when we say about mingon average inflation rate, more kag you're looking for the same inflation rate year on year, but that would depend on basically pila gyud ang iyang increase in value, no. So namo gud tay formula F is equal to P 1 plus I to the exponent of n. So we are looking for mingon ta what is the constant or same value of interest rate wherein you have the future value of a certain amount and what is the present value. So at this part, mayroon kag 100 times 1.04. So mahimo na siya on the 2001 plus kuha na pud ka times 1.08. So that would make your future value of the kanang wait mangita ko sa akong calculator. So kung ingon tag you have a value of 100 times 1.04 times 1.08, iyang future value on after 2 years is about 112.32. So looking into what is the average inflation rate niya, that is F is equal to 112.32 equals to from a certain 100 na price range on year 0, 1 plus I to the exponent of 2 years. So therefore, we can be able to get the value of sa interest rate, no? Mga around 5.98% imong interest rate. Question?
Sir, kanang applicable or ba na siya, sir, kung consecutive ang year na koan?
Kung mingon tag consecutive year, basically, so inani siya, no? If, for example, you have 3 years, so individual siya, na kay, say, for example, 4%, maingon kag 8% on the second year, o niya 10% on the third year. So, let's compute the value sa ato ang 100, no? Maingon kag 100 times 1.04 times 1.08, so times 1.10. Ako lang na siyang ginana because basically you'll be multiplying each of the future values, no? So may kag 100 times 1.04 times 1.08 times 1.10. So basically the value or the future value in 3 years is 123.552. So in getting the average inflation rate, pwede na to siya inanio na 123.552 is equal to 101 plus I to the exponent rate is 7.30%. So that does not necessarily mean nga consecutive years lang. Okay?
Pero kung
Hello?
mahitag average inflation rate, sir, no, kay, for example, kanina problem, sir, kay, ay, madunggan na ka, sir.
Madunggan ratik ka. Yes.
Kaan, sir, kani nga problem, sir, ba kay ang given man nga year, ang
Medyo
inflation rates
choppy
kay
ka.
2000. Ay, ako na i-chat, sir.
Sige. Any more question from the group? 2000, year 2001. Wait, ha? So actually, mano siya, no, if you have varying inflation rates, you can compute for the average inflation rate, no, using the formula. But if, for example, the formula, wait, ha, or nawa pa 2000 to 2002 niya rate for pwede ra. So basically imo lang ano, after you should, number one, you should first compute the future price. Okay? So if you have 2000 to 2002, ang imong on average, imong inflation rate is 4%, nya 2003 to 2005, moingon kag 8%. So kuhaon sa nimo ang future value sa imo butan nimo 100. Pila naman iyang value at 2005. Okay? That would mean that is 100 times 1.04, 2000, 2001, 2002 is 3 years, times 1.08, 2003, 2004, 2005 is 3 years. So, ang imong future value ana sa imong 100 is around 141.70. Okay? So, in order to get the average inflation rate, that would be 141.70 man imong future price equals to 101 plus I to the exponent of 6. Therefore, your interest rate for this one, that would be 141.70 divided by 100 to the exponent of 1 over 6 minus 1. So basically, that would be equivalent to 5.98%. question.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So inana siya, ha? Okay, so proceeding to general inflation rate. So for general inflation rate, it falls into mahog siya same as the average inflation rate, but your basis for the general inflation rate is the CPI or the consumer price index, no? So basically that is your CPI would be given, so imo lang siyang kuhaon imong general inflation rate, no? By formula basically it is the same, but your basis for general inflation rate is on the consumer price index. Okay? So actually when you try to solve using values of inflation, pwede ka magamit using general inflation rate if your average inflation rate is not provided. Okay? Because by formula, it is basically the same, but when it comes to the given lang siya mo matter. Okay? I think na-discuss na ni ko. So for 2 consecutive years, basically you have the formula nga inanin siya. So CPI and CPIN, and this is 223.50 minus 218 over 223.50 223.50 and minus 1 out 200 for 2.46%. I think sakto. This is 218. So that is 223.50 minus 218 divided by 218. So your interest or your general inflation rate is 2.52% for 2 consecutive years na siya. But for when you say nga taas na ang number of years, you'll have to go through the formula as this one, no? So basically, maingon ka na nga CPN and CP0, no? When you say CPN, your F, inani man na siya ang formula. F is equal to P, 1 plus I to the exponent of N, no? So F is your CPI, your F is equal to CPIN is equal to CPI0. 1 plus F to the exponent of N. Okay? So therefore, that is CPI N over CPI 0 to the exponent of 1 over N, transposing your negative 1, that is equal to your F. Okay? So that is how the formula was derived. Okay? So since the solution was already provided for this problem, so basically, you can actually get your answer. So ginana lang siya pag-derive actually ang inflation, no? But mali ito, for general inflation rate, your basis is your consumer price index. So when we say about specific inflation rate, maingon sad ka nga katong average inflation rate o ang imong general inflation rate, you are looking into the consumer basket sum of all na inflation. So mahog kag general buot pasabot na niya katong 8 baskets nimo for consumers. Gi-add up to nimo tanan, gikuha ra nimo ang kanang iyahang general gyud. But when it comes to specific segments of the economy, pwede ka moingon nga kani siya specific to as to moingon ka og simina or food. So this is specific. Like for example, kani siya, a company has an average cost 2,005 for a family of 4. Moingon kag tickets ni siya. So tickets on the game. So moingon specific. So basically the answer is mura kag you're looking only on the Any question with regards to specific inflation rate? I think
Ay, sir, kanang question, sir, sa
yes.
pero di ko sure, sir, if na ingon na-mention nimo, sir, kay naputol sa ako. Kaning mga values, sir, diri sa
Unsa
cost,
man
sir,
to?
ga-assume rata, sir, nga ang value diri, sir, kay mga CPI ning given kaning cost, sir.
Asa to? Naputol ka.
Kay,
Usually your CPIs are given.
tapos kaning nasa table, sir, kaning 276, 287, kay assume, sir, nga CPI ni sila, sir.
Can you chat lang kay medyo kani siya? Kani siya? Wait ha. Kaning cost na given, sir. So this basically these are cost, no, for tickets na siya given. So what we are trying to look into this part lang yun is actually the yearly inflation rate specific to tickets. Okay? So kani siya basically kung atong kwaon ang imong 287 pila iyang inflation rate diri, that is 287.84 minus 276.24 divided by 276.20. Inflation rate diri is the kani nga price versus kanisad sa previous year. Okay? Hello?
So sa question, sir, dili na ang general inflation rate,
Mga
sir.
CPI values na, sir. So dili makalculate actual prices, no? Hello? So if you are given actual prices, that refers to specific. So kung walay CPI, dili ka kakuha sa general inflation rate. What you can be able to get is your average inflation rate. So dili nimo actually makuha imong general inflation rate because what was provided is actual price man, no? So ang imong makuha is average inflation rate. Okay? Wait. So mao to siya. So when it comes to CPI gani provided ang gihatag kay price gani, you can get your average inflation rate. By terms of kuan, lahi siya o given, but it will basically give you inflation rate, no? So average inflation rate, so at 2011 mao ni siya at 2000, so like 2011 is 6 years, 2005, so that is 339.01 equals to 276.24. 1 plus f to the exponent of 6. That would be 339. Exponent of 1 over 6 minus 1 equals to 339.01. About 3.47 average inflation rate specific to segment J. Question? Anybody? No question?
Wala yan, sir.
Sige, I'll proceed. General inflation rate, as you can see, given ang imuhang general inflation rate. So basically, you can solve that one. So now, we will try to understand the difference between actual and constant dollars. No? Kung mingon kag actual dollars class, that is with inflation, okay? So na mo pasabot ana niya the future value of a present amount, that would be 1 plus I to the exponent of n. So bot pasabot kung mingon kag actual dollars, kung akong sweldo karon is 100, pila na siya in 2 years time given nga na inflation, no? So magkadako akong value. Okay? So, meanwhile, kung mingon sa tag constant dollars, we are looking into the worth. Okay? Mo na siya, ang iyang in terms of value, mo gamay siya, kay akong 100 karon na ako'y paliton in the next 5 years, magkagamay man ang worth sa akong money. So that's basically the difference. So this is in terms of an increasing value, kay ni patong kag interest, and this is murag mo decrease kag value if there is inflation. Meanwhile, if there is deflation, magkasaka sad ang imong value for money. Okay, for example, this one, no? So constant to actual conversion. Kung mingon kag actual, pila na may kantidad ani imong 30,000 after pila ka years. Okay? So therefore, maingon kag after 2 years, maingon kag 1995, and then kuan 1995 ni imong CPI sa kuan. So maingon tag 30,000 pili kantidad ani. So basically dili pa man tawa na we're not provided any interest rate. So since we are provided the general inflation rate, so basically we can compute. So that is 223.47 divided by 152.4 exponent of 2011 minus 1995 minus 1. That is your general inflation rate. Anyway, this is 1 over kuan. So that is basically your general inflation rate, mao nim siyang 2.42%. So mao ni imong general inflation rate per year. So kani imong 30,000 na earn, if you earned it on 2011, that would be 1 plus 0.0242 to the exponent of 2011 minus 1995. $16 years na siya. So, the value ana niya so that is 43,990. So kana imong 30,000 na earn on 1995, kung na-earn na nimo siya on 2011, ang iyang value is around 43,000. That is an actual conversion of money. But pasabutan na niya, if you try to put it in a bank, pila na iyang value after pila ka years. Meanwhile, when we say about actual to constant, kung maingon sa tag actual to constant, we are looking into the purchasing power, no? Purchasing value sad ka kay worth naman sa imong gitan-aw. So if on average inflation rate is 8%, so magkagamay ang value sa imong 1,260. Okay? Divided by 1 over 1.08 to the exponent of 3 kay after 3 years man. No. So but pasabot that is 1.08 to the exponent of 3. 1. So mahimo na siyang 1,000.23. But pasabot, if you have 1,260 in actual nga kwarta karon, ang iyang purchasing power equivalent based on the constant nga inflation rate, imong purchasing worth ana is about $1,000 na lang. Any question?
Sir, kanang pwede ba na siya tan-awon as kanang compounding nga formula, sir? Kana siya.
Actually, this is with what actually this is your compounding formula, no. Mahog lang ka nga this is already your value right now pero ni-decrease ibong value in terms of tungod sa inflation. Okay?
So
Nakuha ra.
kay galibog lang ko,
Actually,
sir,
this
kay
is
sorry, sir. If
sige.
i-rearrange siya, sir, ba to compounding nga formula, sir, kay kanang murag na treat ang 1 to 60 as future value.
So mahog siya mao ni mong future value, mao ni mong present, but for tungod man gud inflation rate reduces the value of your money, mahog ka nga, di ba, F is equal to P 1 plus I to the exponent of N man na, no. No, so
Yes, sir.
when it comes to inflation nga purchasing power, nabalin nimo your P is equal to F 1 plus I to the exponent of N naka. Okay? Therefore, maingon kag the future value of your money is equal to P over 1 plus I to the exponent of N. Kay reducing man or decreasing man ang value sa imuhang worth of money for
Ah,
purchasing power. Okay?
okay, sir. For purchasing power, ano siya, sir?
Yes, yes. So, mao na siya.
Kumuha siya ang difference, sir, if like kay kaganina, sir, sige ra matagdilog CPI nga values.
Mm.
Kani siya, sir, kay ma-consider ya po ni siya CPI, sir, or mo ni siya
So
ang
ang imong
PPI.
gamiton diri kani imong kung mayon kag CPI, you'll be able to get your general inflation rate, no. So kani imong kuan diri mao na ni imong inflation rate nga general sad. For this problem na amang ko'y gihatag nga given nga average inflation rate. So this is akong gigamit nga F of A or the average inflation rate akong gihimong interest rate.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay? Was that clear enough, ra?
Yes, sir.
So basically this sums up, no, mao ni pinakasayo na to nga topic sa engineering economics, no. So and by within the week siguro I'll be giving you what is your minimum requirement for the departmentals to have a 3.0 grade. So any score beyond that requirement would be a grade of greater than 3.0. Okay? Question or clarification?
Last na lang yun, sir, kanang sa katong sa 1 to
Sige.
60 ganina, sir, baka iingon gina siya, sir, nga actual dollars if mo ang case.
Yes. So, mana
Ah,
siya kung ang question gani, what equivalent purchasing? So, mana siya, ang imong gipangita na is constant na. Okay? Purchasing
okay, sir.
value man ka or worth. Kung may kag worth. Sige, anybody? May ni si Kuanda kay Rona kay attentive kini sa kong klase. August 1. Sige. Unsay Salde, what is your concern with regards to August 1? So kuan lang, no, I'll try to have a Zoom recorded nga ano kanang proctoring. Okay? So the very limitations with regards to that one is number one, ang bandwidth ninyo, no. Can you check whether will be able to have a video during your exam? Okay?
Um, Regarding my case man, sir, kay very unstable akong internet, sir, that even
Ah,
during itong mga exams na to, sir, without the video, sir, kay murag mo pop up tong katong murag sign sa Zoom na ko, sir, nga tong color red nga your internet
pwede ra mo
connection.
mag-Zoom use actually akong plan was I'll
Hala, nawa si sir.
link.
Oh, yes, sir.
Mm,
kana pong kuan sir,
Di
kana
man mosugot ang respondo. So, kuan lang, ako lang is, for example, ang Zoom can be using your cellphone, no? Bali, ang akong iset sa respondos would be, kuan lang, lockdown browser. Okay? And then, can you use your phone for the Zoom? Dili na ko siya i-consider sa proctoring kay might be we can have problems with regards to bandwidth ba. Hello? 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 Nara ko? Madungog ra?
Yes, sir.
So, kaya ra, for example, ang akong iset sa respondos is lockdown browser. For Zoom, sa cellphone lang ninyo, nga makakita lang ko ninyo ba? Kana siya. Hello? Okay ra ba?
sir wala.
Would it be
Sir Rilano, sir.
Okay lang, sir. Magamit ako lain na laptop lang. Okay, wa mo ko'y phone right now kay bago ra nagura ba.
pwede ra, kuan lang, Gmeet lang no, Gmeet. Pwede ra, Gmeet lang. So, dili lang ako siya iset sa respondos. Ako iset sa respondos is lockdown browser. And then, sa cellphone ninyo, mag-Gmeet lang ko nga recorded, nga makakita. So, para at least, dili siya mukaon og bandwidth sa imong laptop ba? Dili sad siya dili
Dako kaon ang Zoom, sir.
So kuan lang, Gmeet, kaya?
Yes, sir. Kaya, sir.
Sige, I'll be setting a Gmeet lang separately ha during the exam. And I'll be setting the respondos up to lockdown browser. Okay? Why? Okay? Okay ra?
Yes, sir.
So, kuan lang, siguro on your cellphones to para dili mo kagamit og bandwidth, pwedeng paludan lang ninyo nga pang internet lang nga pang Zoom ay pang Gmeet ba. Okay? Any more question or clarification?
Any clues kung pila ka items ang exam, sir? how long
I'll
it
try
will-
to actually you are given 3 hours for the exam. And then there are a number of items. Ako i-check. Ako i-breakdown dere.
Sir, for the final exam, sir, similar gyapon siya sa exam last katong Monday, sir, nga mabalik-balik ka Japan, sir, ang number.
So kuan siya, actually this is a departmental exam, no? So dili nimo makitaan sa tanan nimong mga nagian nga quiz, no?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Pero kanang magbalik, pwede ra gyapon mi ka return sa number, sir, if kinanglan mo mag-recheck, sir, para atong last na
Which would you prefer? Makabalik mo or dili kay in as much as possible dili ang ako is di na ko pabalikon.
makabalik, sir.
Balik ka lang, sir. Kaya daghan mga sa'yo, sir. Balik lang, sir.
Sige.
Isa ka number.
Like,
Okay, sige. So inani ha. Your exam coverage you have Sige lang, ako iset nga makabalik ra mo or dili mo lock after answering, okay? Or after skipping.
Thank you, sir.
So basically, you have 15 items, 10 items na easy. 16 items na average. O nya, difficult 6 items, then naamoy duha ka solving nga part. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Multiple choice
On the
gapon, sir.
solving nga part, for easy, average, and difficult, kay that is multiple choice. Sa solving na part, that will cover depreciation and katong mga BEP. And then, kuan siya, fill in multiple blanks. Katong murag table ba?
Okay, sir.
Okay? All in all, that is 100 points. Okay, so I think kaya rin ninyo. Kaya magay ninyo ang pila to ka items. You only have 37 items. So, kuan lang, piece of advice. If the problem is easy, do not overthink because it's easy. Okay? Any more question? Pila passing para maka-3. So, I'll salde, mag-compute ko later, no? After na kong check sa assignment sa module 5. Mahuman naman kong kanang input sa ako ang kanang Excel.
Pili ka percent, sir.
Nana ko i-formula. Ha?
Pila siya
Ano
ka percent sa grades?
This is about 49% of your final grade. Ako i-check balik. Wait. Ako i-check. Your final exam is 0.7 times 0.7. 49% of your final grade. Any more question? Kinsa tong garay sughan?
Me, sir.
Dana.
Someone raises
Can you
his
hear me,
or
sir?
her hand.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes.
Sir, you said
Morning.
the last part is fill in the blanks for
Fill
like
in
the
multiple blanks. Mura siya Excel table nga i-input ra ninyo ang DN, DM, and BN.
I see. Question, sir, because there are the previous the last time I was
I
using
am checking it manually.
I see. But like the previous time we were using the Respondos monitor, the longer you use it, your capability of typing is removed. As in, I tried to
Oh, ba?
open the more, I guess for my computer, it depends on the computer, I guess. Pero, kanang, when I was using it, I was waiting for the exam. Nag-open rin akong Respondos, nag-wait ako sa announcement sa akong phone. Then, the more, like,
Oh.
it was 15 minutes already. Like, 15 minutes plus. I tried to type in my email, pero dili siya magana. Like, it just wouldn't type. I tried doing
Oh,
that
if
sa
sige
like,
lang. So, kan lang if inani, let's set your computations first. Last ang multiple choice. Would it be possible?
I guess we'll have to see about, well, I guess that's the best,
Kuan
the
lang,
best.
kuan. So, sige, so go. So, kuan lang, for the benefit of everybody, no? Actually, while ongoing ang exam, I'll be online. So, if you have any concern nga kinanglan mo out or kinanglan mo restart, inform me or you can actually PM me, no? So that I can give you another attempt to ensure na you are able to finish the exam within our kanang i-consider nga standard ba. So any problems during the exam like kanang imong gingon na concern, inform me, email kanang i-chat lang ko sa Messenger kay mas dali ko maka-react ana. Okay?
Sige. Thank you, sir.
Sige. So probably I'll be setting the computations first if that would be an issue sa kuan. But you'll have the same number of items. Any more question? And then, after the exam, actually, ako na i-manual og check, no? And be careful lang yun when trying to inputting your answers. Kaya usay, magkabali-bali ba? In this three, usay, kuan dito. Pero I'm checking all those manually, no? Unang dili, every time after the exam, dili jud ko maingon nga final score na kay ako sana siya i-check manually. Any more question? Wala na? Stop na kong recording ha.